For a while, man.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels great, you know, kind of everything I've dreamed of, you know, like I said, past 22 years, it's just been, you know, I wanted to be on a major league field, and, you know, whether it was hitting or pitching, just wanted to be in a game and, you know, show what God gave me, and I believe I did that.
What goes through your mind when that phone rings and they say, hey, get hot?
Oh, gosh. A lot. Really, I mean, it's just like, oh no, like, it's time to go. Like, you know, you can prepare all you want, and, you know, me being a starter and coming out of the bullpen today, it's like not foreign to me. I've done it before, but, you know, I haven't done it since spring, so it's kind of just like, hey, you know, I stretched around a little bit, got hot, but when they said, hey, you got the next inning, I was like, all right, let's roll, and that's what I did. So
When did this day start to feel real?
probably when I ran out. No, that's why. When I threw my last couple warm-up pitches, and, you know, crowd kind of went pretty loud, and I was like, okay, this is it. But yeah, I don't know how I threw a strike first pitch, but I did. So
The spring breakout game a couple years ago, there was the famous Red Bull chug. Was there one of those before you left the bullpen today?
no, there was one probably in like the first inning.
Okay.
And I didn't know. I knew I was after Braxton with a clean inning, so I didn't know when that was. And, you know, he, of course, he went out there and shoved, but yeah, that was, you know, I think it happened in the first, maybe before the first, but I slammed it. All right, let's go. This is my routine. This is what I do. So.
How'd you feel about your stuff and just the way it plays here at the major league level?
Yeah, I think, you know, got some good results. And, you know, I think I threw a lot of pitches that, you know, kind of got away from me, but at the same time, they were in zone, and they were ripped and executed. And, you know, hitting's hard, so, you know, I try not to overcomplicate it as much as, you know, some would. But yeah, you know, I threw a lot of good pitches. I threw some pitches I wish I had back, but yeah, you know, overall, can't complain about however many innings I threw, and, you know, them being scoreless. So it's pretty sweet.
I know a ticket's a ticket, but is it
Yeah.
any more special that the first couple ones are a hundo?
Were they?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was kind of. I don't know where I was looking. I was just kind of looking around, like I was trying to find my parents and where they're sitting. So yeah, really wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I think the only pitch I looked at was the strikeout to Arcia. Yeah, I was like, dang, that felt good coming out of the hand. And yeah, it was a great pitch. So yeah, they were 100. Nice.
What did you think of the crowd tonight?
It was great. You know, everything you can imagine. Yeah, like I said, man, when they said my name and, you know, major league debut, like, this is kind of all I remember, and I just blacked out the first inning. But, you know, and I just kind of heard the place go crazy, and I had to turn my pitch comm up because I just couldn't hear what Henry was putting down. But yeah, man, that was really cool. It's something, you know, I'll never forget and I'll cherish forever. And, you know, want to thank the Pirates for making a dream come true.
On the note of Henry, how special was it to have him behind the dish? He's been huge for your development.
Yeah, pretty cool. You know, me and Henry, we go back all the way to 2021. We lived together, and, you know, we kind of always talk about this day as like, hey, you know, whenever the time is, like, you're gonna catch my debut, and we're gonna have fun. And yeah, you know, I've never been teammates with him until last year in AAA, and, you know, just kind of the way he goes about stuff, man. He just, like, I never shook him once, and I don't really plan on shaking the guy. Like, what he puts in each day is, you know, for the fans and media, everything, like, that guy gives it his all. And, you know, it's something pitchers really like, is our job's hard enough to go out there and, you know, try to throw a little white ball and place it in an inch big zone, right? Like, you know, just having the comfort of, you know, hey, whatever he puts down, you know, there's thought behind it, and, you know, it's the right pitch.
As you thought about your debut, did you ever think that you might end up getting a save in your major league debut?
No. Yeah, no, it never crossed my mind, you know. I've relieved a couple times, but, you know, I think I've started like 80-something games in minor league. So, you know, you think coming up, it's going to be you're going to be a starter, and you're going to start, but it's not planned. And, you know, when they told me, hey, you're coming up, it was cool. I don't care if I'm the bat boy, if I'm, you know, whatever. Like, I just want to be here, and I want to help the team win, and, you know, hopefully I did that.
I'm sure you've been waiting since probably June to get your call up. What was it like to have to deal with maybe the frustration of that? And did you take any of it out there on the mound with you tonight?
Yeah, whatever. You know, I don't, you know, you can only kind of control what you can control. And, you know, I think the Pirates have a good plan for every single person in this clubhouse, every single person in the organization. And, you know, like, you can complain all you want about everything, but, you know, in the end, I'm here. I'm in the big leagues. You know, there's not a lot of 22-year-old kids that, you know, get to do this. And I'm grateful. You know, I was mad, yeah, whatever. But at the same time, like, I didn't take care of what I needed to take care of. So that falls back on me. Yeah, now I'm here, don't care. Yeah, the stress. I guess stress is a big thing. Like, I've never really been a stressed out guy, but have been the past couple months, just trying to get here. And,
I mean, did you channel some of that into tonight's performance?
no, I just went out there and threw one pitch at a time, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of blacked out. I don't know what I didn't know what half was going on until I tried walking off the field after the last out, and I remembered it's the last out of the game. I can stay out there, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty sweet. I don't care. I'm here, so can't complain.
I'm glad for you to be able to finish it out and be the walk off that mountain with the last.
Yeah, that was cool. When I came out the 8th, I was kind of thinking like, gosh, I really hope they let me go. One more, like that'd be great. Like, I didn't know it was a save opportunity, but it's like I really want to finish this thing out. Like that would just be the cherry on top. And when I walked in, Oscar was like, "Hey, one more, let's go, man, come on." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let's go." But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Were you a little extra hyped up knowing what Braxton was able to do before you?
Yeah, me and Braxton have pretty similar repertoire, so like, I was watching pretty closely on the TV out there, like, okay, what works for what guy, like, they struggle with this, struggle with that, so it's kind of, I don't want to say easy, but Braxton, the way he is and the way his stuff plays, like we are similar a little bit, so I had a little more calmness and readiness going in the game, like, hey, I know if I throw this here, like they're gonna have a tough time. So shout out Brax.
You mentioned being a little stressed. I mean, maybe the smile's the giveaway here, but weight off the shoulders at all?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. You spend, just like anyone, I work every day of my life, and you try to just be the best you can at whatever it is. And there's a lot of times that in the off season or during the season, it's like, God, this sucks, but it's like, where's the light at the end of the tunnel type of thing. And yeah, I found it. So yeah, just ready to go see my parents and have fun.
Were you able to locate them in the crowd at all?
No, gosh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, freaking pitch clock. Speeds up on it. Yeah, there was a couple times I think that's them, and then I was like, nah. I think they had all my jerseys on. There was not enough jerseys around them, so like, nah, it ain't them. But at the end, found them. Yeah, you pointed it out to me, so. Good
I'm sorry, is it a little surreal? I mean,
I'm sorry.
Paul's jerseys there, Braxton's, guys that you have sort of come up with now. You guys are here.
Yeah.
Now that you're here, do you sort of think about the possibilities of what this group could do?
Yeah, I think everyone in this clubhouse is freaking phenomenal what they do. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. So I think the pitchers we have, come to work every day, ready to go out there and put up zeros, kind of like we did tonight. And Braxton is a guy that has battled a ton of injuries, a ton of just crappy stuff, and like you see what he's doing now. Like, he's the guy that's going to play for a long, long time, and he's really good. Paul, I'm not going to give him his flowers, but he's he's a leader in the clubhouse. He's a guy that guys kind of gravitate towards. And you see what he's doing every week. It's unbelievable, and he's a guy that works, and you kind of get out what you put in, and that's just kind of the thought is Mitch, everyone in here is going to be. They work as hard as they can, and what you put in is what you get out. So,
how much do you feel like you can benefit from being around guys like Paul and Mitch, in terms of not just your game routine, but also between starts and things like just stuff that you can learn about being a major league starting pitcher or in the bulk role?
Yeah, I think everyone's different, but Mitch, he's pitched in big leagues for a long time now. Like, he's done it. He's done a lot of innings. He's had a lot of good years. Paul hasn't been here long, but you see what he's done. And guys like Carmen and Braxton, they've been in the position that I've been put in now, starter to reliever to long reliever. Like, they can help me. I talked to Carmen for the first inning day, like, hey, how do you think I should go about this with my routine and all that stuff? And he's, hey, no, yes, do this, don't do that. Like, you don't want to be too hot, you don't want to be too cold, like whatever. And yeah, he was guys like that. Isaac Matson's another one that I've been teammates with for the past 2 years that are just dog. So he kind of gave me some nice words of wisdom going into the game. And
what does it say about you that your 40th pitch was also 100?
Cool.
You carried that
cool.
that load into the deep into the start.
Yeah, I don't know. Just I guess something I've done well over the years is carried velo. It's kind of something I pride myself on is, you know, pitch one's going to be slower than pitch 100. That's kind of my thought, is I want to, you know, be my best version at the end of it, whether it's the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. I want to still be going strong, and that's, you know, what I do throughout the week that allows me to do that.